Hey everyone, thanks for being here. I'm Wendy, your host. This is the Stripology podcast. I really felt like sharing this today. If you're following me on Instagram, then you will see a little bit of the story that's going on. But I also want to share a really important message. So first of all, there's two actually. First of all, this is for you if you find yourself like losing hope during the night and sitting in the change room and going, fuck it. Okay. Let's say, fuck that. You're definitely leaving money on the table and you know it and I know it and we all know it and that's okay. But it's about getting around that. And second thing is story time about my charge that got dropped. So I was driving across Australia and I was talking to one of my besties a lot about this and the upcoming charge and the court hearing. And, basically in Western Australia, pepper spray is legal as long as it's not used. If you use it, then you need to declare that kind of thing. And anyway, long story short, this was unused. This was in my center console of my car. I was driving from Perth to Brisbane, which is about 5,000 kilometers. It's a long way. And in a small town, I got stopped. My husband and I and our dog got stopped and we complied. Our car got searched and I completely forgot it was in the center console. However, talking to my friend, it was so funny because she's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the reason it was in the center console was because my friend moved away and we were setting up our Airbnb at the same time. So her bedroom suite, went into the Airbnb. So I was cleaning out the drawers. There was the pepper spray. So I was like, well, this can't be in an Airbnb. It's not ideal. So anyway, I popped it in my center console of my car and it was in there for a lot of months, probably 6 to 8 months. And then we drove across Australia. We got stopped in a small country town, apparently in front of a house that was known for criminal activity. It was known for weapons and stolen goods and drugs and all these things. And we had no idea. We were literally stopping over. We'd just got lunch. Our dog stretched his legs. We got, we found a public toilet, stopped in front of a house apparently that was known for all these things. And we were looking at our map to see, cool, where's our route? Where do we go next? And that's when we got stopped and car was searched and, whatever. So that happened. Fortunately, the charges were dropped today. Yay! So excited because in New South Wales, where this occurred in this small town, it's not legal. But talking to the magistrate and talking to, about the actual facts and also disregarding the fact that where we were, we had no idea where we were. The charges were dropped, which was fantastic. But talking to my friend, she was given this pepper spray as a gift because I'm not going to say too much about it. It's very personal. But she was followed to her car after work by somebody and attacked. Okay, so that is a reality of our industry. That is something that I just want to put a warning out there that, be careful. She's streetwise. I know her well, and this happened. And fortunately, she was okay. She was okay, obviously traumatized, but she was okay. And so this is, long story short, the backlog. So when we're talking about the court case, we're actually like, oh, that was the same pepper spray. Anyway, so, I just want to put out there really the safety for our industry, really being, I know there's like a lot of conversation around, money counts and things being difficult and like talking about the amount of money that you make and things like that. But this is a real event. This is just a really interesting reminder now in 2024, something that happened in the late, 2000 teens, can't remember which year right now. But there's just so many things that can stem from our industry, and safety is always first. So really taking note of the fact that this, things can happen, and obviously not just legally, but like for your own safety. So that's number one. I really want to put out there, like, really be safe about what you do. A lot of the time it's like, following on from last week's episode where I was talking about, complex CPTSD and things like that, a lot of the times situations that can seem quite risky for some people can seem quite normal for other people. And so it's just a little reminder to just, look out for yourself and for your friends and to be safe. The second thing that I want to talk about, I should have written this down. I love just hitting record and like flowing with it, is a topic. Okay, what was it? Sorry, it's a topic that's been coming up recently. Oh, yes, this. So, like I said at the beginning, if you're having a difficult night and you're like losing hope and you're like, fuck, I may as well go home. Like, I just can't face it. I had a job today that was, I was requested for someone with a terminal illness. Obviously I've done this for a long time, and it's a difficult thing to, if you're not watching this, but quote, celebrate someone with a terminal illness. And I can't 100% recall, because this is episode number 72 now, if I've talked about this before. I know I've talked about some of these points, but other points I don't think I have. So I've had many customers obviously in my career, and I think I have mentioned that I've had two that have come back to me that have verified the fact that they were thinking of ending their life, and meeting me. It sounds so weird to say, but meeting me really like uplifted them and let them kind of see life in a different perspective, and choosing not to, and actually becoming really great customers, friends, people that I could talk to. As I always talk about, like, connection is key, but getting to that point where we talked about the fact that like that's the point of life that they were at, and that they changed their perspective and thankfully chose to remain on this earth, which is amazing. And this is the impact that our industry brings. Now, also with terminal, customers, look, it's heavy. It's a whole nother ball game. But the point that I want to put across as well with this is the fact that one night it'll stand out in my mind forever. Apologies if I've shared this before, but reminders are fantastic. Yeah, this customer, I'll never forget it. It was at Men's Gallery in Melbourne. It was a quiet night. It was a difficult night, sort of like a resistant kind of crowd. And I was talking to this guy, and there was this amazing show on and things. And I was, doing my thing, doing my hustle, getting to know him. And he was very resistant. He was reserved. He was not wanting to, look, at the end of the day, he's at a strip club. I would say not wanting to get a lap dance, but actually, as I always talk about in the Industry Academy, like, the certainty wasn't there. He just wasn't certain that I was the person. So we developed more rapport. I chatted to him for a bit. We went for a $50 dance. $50, 10 minutes, Men's Gallery. I took him for a dance. I took the time to sort of just break down that barrier, because this is what I want to get to if you have a difficult night, right? You can't sell when someone's barrier is high. The first step is break down the barrier. So for whatever reason, I managed to do that. I managed to sell this dance, and in that dance, he told me that, and we were the same age. It was so crazy. Or like, he was a year younger. I can't quite remember now, but we were like pretty much the same age. He had terminal cancer. It was the second time. He was going through this. He went into remission and then he had a relapse. And this time it was more serious. And I spoke to him a little bit about it in this little 10-minute dance. I was like, look, he opened up, and told me like, what was going on. And I asked him genuinely, how are you feeling, And he said this time round, first time round, he had more hope. This time round, he's got 2 children now. And that was basically his last hurrah. And to this day, I'm still so grateful that in my hustle, again, in inverted commas, I took the time to see him as a person, get to know him, and not do a pressuring hustle, just to showcase the fact that, like, look, you may quite possibly, my certainty is very high, have a really good time. We had a really good time together, and he was super thankful for the space that I held and for obviously the entertainment that I bring and just getting to know him. And I have no idea, what became of that. But I was actually really on the fence of being like, oh, you're so annoying. Like, you are frustrating the fuck out of me. Like, we're talking about a $50 dance here. But I kept my composure, obviously kept doing the things that I know help to sell a dance. And even though it was a $50 dance, I think it eventuated more. I can't quite remember, to be honest, right now. I've told the story before, but right now, like I said, I had the court case today and I'm a little bit in my hyper mode. But I'm still so grateful forever that he had a good time and I was able to provide an experience that he genuinely enjoyed, because he thanked me, and it just was a really, really nice connection. And so bringing me back to the start of this conversation is, if you're having a difficult night, it's so easy to get in your head to be like, oh, I got to go and make money. I got to get up there. I got to step on the floor and make some money. That's potentially going to bring the energy of people putting their boundaries up. You're already putting one foot behind the other by needing to bring the resistance down and then sell. This is a little thing that I invite you to try. If you're feeling a little desperate, if you're feeling a little like hopeless or giving up, or like it's just a tough night, I invite you right now to think about not selling the dance, but just lightening someone's day, just spreading some joy, just meeting somebody. And obviously, I always advocate for suggesting the dance. But if you're in that space where you're like, I can't even face another person, one thing that feels better, in my opinion, than making money is having someone feel really good and them feeling really good about spending their money. I'm going to leave it on that note. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'm off to Darwin. I can't wait. Some sunshine. Celebrating so much my verdict on the pepper spray. I know a lot of us have questions around, like, needing that security and having the law against you in so many states. The lawyer that I was speaking with is a friend of a friend, but he's in Queensland. And I definitely recommend him. He didn't end up needing to represent me, thankfully. I just kind of went for it, and it was successful. But he did give me some really good pointers. And if you are curious, reach out. I can give you his number. He's got his own history, as we all do, but he is super professional and helps me so much. And I'm just so grateful for everything. I'm so grateful for everyone being here. And again, if you're feeling a little bit like down and out in your night, go and just try and make someone else's night and see how it goes. Because I guarantee, well, I don't guarantee, but I've got a lot of evidence in my own mind that it can turn out a lot better than if you approach people by trying to get something from them. Okay, peace and see you next week.